What is standard mode? What is advantage mode? And how is this going to affect you as an Uber driver? Hey everyone, my name is Chris and welcome to the RideShare Guy. And today, that's what we're going over. Is this standard mode and advantage mode? Why is it here? What is going on? What makes you an advantage driver or a standard driver? And where is this going to be tested out? When is it coming? And what do we expect? As well as my overall thoughts and opinions at the end of this video. So let's start breaking it down right now. There was a recent, let's say, problem over the last week when it came to Uber pre-launching something that wasn't even supposed to be launched until the next couple of weeks. But depending on when you're watching it, it could be out in your market currently. But they kind of jumped the gun a little bit to it, and it came out Monday. We got screenshots for this whole thing coming to you when we talked about it on Show Me the Money Club on Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. So make sure you're live there. But Uber had to put out a quick press release. And so we're going to go into what the press release says, as well as some of the information behind advantage and standard mode. And of course, I want to know what your thoughts are on all of this. So make sure you let me know and we'll see from there. So let's take a look at it right now. This is their blog post that they had to make. So yeah, if you'd like to have more information on it, I'll leave a link in the description below. But we're going to be talking about what it is. So first off, advantage mode and standard mode. It's coming to a number of different markets as a test, and it's going to be coming out July 8th to 11th. It's going to be rolling out in Sarasota. I'm assuming that's Florida. So let's go with that. Then in July 11th through the 15th, it's going to launch in Austin, Charlotte, Columbus, Kansas City, both in Kansas and Missouri, Miami, Nashville, Phoenix, and Tampa. So if it's going to launch in another market, they're going to let you know, but expect emails if you haven't seen this one already. So what is advantage mode? What is standard mode? Can you switch between or what? What's going on? So basically, they're going to share a preview of a new pilot program that tests updates of how drivers select markets receive ride requests. And it's going to come through the advantage mode and standard mode. So when a driver is in advantage mode, they're going to receive more exclusive ride requests sent directly to them, which is the normal ping. And they're going to earn 5% more on UberX and other non-premium ride types that they would be in standard mode. I would assume things like XL and all of that stuff, but non-premium when it comes to the ride types that they're in. So that means when this pilot begins, drivers eligible for the advantage mode will be based on their acceptance rate, cancellation rate, star rating, and coming in September, their CMT driving score. And I'm going to give my thoughts on that as well near the end. So stay tuned for that. But basically, you will be jumbled into one of these categories. You will either be in advantage mode or standard mode. There's no switching in between. It's based on your statistics as a driver. So what are those statistics? It's the acceptance rate of 25% or more. It's a cancellation rate of 8% or less. You have to have at least a 4.85 star rating. And like I said, coming in September, the CMT driving score of 75 or more. What is a driving score? Don't worry, we're going to break that down in exactly a few minutes. So stay tuned. These are pretty easy to get, but for those who are very big at cherry picking and want the best rides, you may have an acceptance rate less than 25%. And with upfront fares, acceptance rates have gone down. So drivers are saying these fares are not coming in and priced properly, which is something that Uber's CEO and other executives in Uber had said that if they don't price rides correctly, it's on them as Uber and they have to raise rates or try to figure out the happy medium in between. So far, it hasn't been like that. And so they're trying to come out with this little program to entice drivers to have an acceptance rate of 25% or more, a cancellation rate of 8% or less, a star rating of at least 4.85, and hopefully you're driving okay. So 75 or more. So yes, basically what's going to end up happening is you're going to have to abide by that in order to get into advantage mode. And again, this is going to help you earn 5% more on trips, and you're going to get more standard ping requests instead of trip radar requests. So if you hate trip radar, this might be something that you want to make sure you hit those thresholds just in case. So depending on your market, beginning on July 1 or 8, the acceptance rate and cancellation rate look back period will be based on the last 100 trip requests. So this change is going to help them get into Advantage mode faster if they don't meet the criteria above. Also, it's going to be checked each day by 5 a.m. local time to determine their eligibility for Advantage mode that day. So if you don't meet the requirements, you're going to be in standard mode, where you're going to get the bulk of your ride requests are going to come through Trip Radar and will not earn that 5% advantage. So just a quick rundown of that. You're seeing in Advantage mode, earn 5% more exclusive ride requests sent directly to you. You're going to get continued access to exclusive trip requests at airport queues, and continued access to Trip Radar. In standard mode, you're not eligible for 5% more on UberX and non-premium rides, fewer exclusive ride requests, and more ride requests coming through Trip Radar, and receive only Trip Radar offers at airport queues. You're still eligible for rematch requests where available. And so, yeah, if you don't like Trip Radar, you might want to take a look at trying to stay in Advantage mode. You'll be able to know what mode you're in just by looking on the app. As you can see that it's scrolling through, you'll be able to know whether you're in Advantage or standard mode. And then the big thing that's coming too in September. So we already talked about acceptance rate, cancellation rate, and your star rating needs to hit certain thresholds. This is in July. Starting in September, if the program doesn't change, because being a pilot, we all know things are being tested, but it's probably going to be something where they're going to roll out unless it's just widely not accepted by drivers. So we'll see what happens. But we all know something is going on with commercial insurance rates. They are just continually going up, 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 and up. And it looks absolutely insane when it comes to some of these ride requests and some of these receipts that you see on the actual commercial insurance rates. So basically, what they're going to try to do is help you drive better. So CMT, also known as Cambridge Mobile Telematics, they are experts in safe driving analytics and driving insights. Dashboard provides drivers with useful information about driving, including an overall score, how it compares to other drivers in the area. So this information can help identify areas in which they may want to improve their rating. Drivers in the pilot markets will be able to view their dashboard in the Safety Hub by tapping the blue shield on the home screen in the driver app. And again, remember, on September 2nd, a CMT driving score of 75 or more will be added as an additional eligibility requirement for Advantage mode. And they're going to remind drivers in 2 weeks before that change takes effect. But basically, how the driving insight works, CMT uses drivers' phone sensor data to generate insights and score based on their driving, including speeding, hard braking, harsh acceleration, sharp turning, and phone handling. It may be very similar to what you know of Lyft's smooth cruise report. It's going to be very similar to that. And they're going to give you a score based on your driving. So if you are speeding, if you are harsh acceleration, braking, turning hard, or handling your phone instead of having it in a phone mount, that's all going to affect your driving score. When it comes to how driving score relates to Advantage mode, again, you have to have a 75 or above. And then where to find that, it'll be in the blue shield, the home screen, which we talked about. And then you want to make sure you always read the fine print. So I'm not going to go through the fine print here, but if you want to take a look at it for yourself, I'll leave it up on the screen or just hit the blog post. Now let's go over my thoughts on this. Honestly, hey, if you're going to get a 5% boost coming to your pay on, standard trips, then that's a good thing. But in reality, is it a lot? No, it's $100 to $105 if you're in standard versus Advantage. It's after $1,000, it's $50 more. So in actuality, it's not too much more because it's only 5%. 10, 15%, probably a little bit better, but it's a little bit of a boost. The only good thing, though, I can say is that you're going to continue getting better ride requests coming in, the ones that are coming right to you. So you don't have to deal with Trip Radar, especially if you don't like Trip Radar, which could be a big problem. So those are a couple of things to keep in mind. And one thing also keep in mind, when there's not enough drivers on the road, I'm betting Advantage and Standard is pretty much going to go out the window at that point. So those busy times where there's a lot of demand for rides, but not enough supply of drivers, which does happen occasionally right now. I mean, we are in oversaturation. We are also in the summer slowdown. But during those times, it's probably going to go out the window, at least for a little bit, especially when it comes to the ride requests coming in, not necessarily the pay bump that you're going to get when it comes to 5% more or not. But this big thing coming from this CMT driving score, this is basically them tracking how you drive and then rewarding drivers who drive better than those who do not drive better because of these commercial insurance rates. And basically, I believe Uber wants to turn around and put this to the commercial insurance carriers and say, hey, look, we are giving rides to safer drivers, or with this driving score, we have helped increase our safety as a whole by, whatever number they actually have. So I'm sure that these reports are all going to go to the insurance carriers as well, too. So this is not new information. In fact, cars already do it to insurance companies. Your car probably is tracking you as we speak, and we'll send that information to the car manufacturer, which can sell that information to insurance carriers. So you can't get out of it no matter what, which is an unfortunate thing. But honestly, it is something that hopefully they can tame these commercial insurance rates. And I would love to be able to see something where it's going to be reflective in the customer price versus what the driver actually makes. So if we can get that down a little bit more, where the driver is actually making more and the passenger, maybe they're paying the same or a little less, that would be good. So if we can squeeze out those commercial insurance rates, but it comes down to data collection, data selling, and, could run into some privacy issues and privacy concerns. And yeah, it's something that you definitely want to watch out for. So we'll definitely be talking about this more on Show Me the Money Club. So make sure we will be talking way more about this over the next couple of weeks and months as this rolls out into these markets. And if it comes into more markets, as well as this driving score, how it's going to impact you as a driver and how much you could potentially make on the road based on driving score. So yeah, it's coming and it's going to be here before you know it. So make sure you stay tuned on Show Me the Money Club live Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, where Sergio and myself discuss pretty much everything that's going on, all these new features, all these new pilots. And of course, when some coder hits it a little too early and puts it out information-wise, and then Uber has to backtrack, we're able to be right there. So make sure you stay tuned as well to the RideShare Guy and are subscribed, because we will have all of the updates and changes and any pilot program that we basically know of because of you, the community that gets hold of us and lets us know. So with that being said, tell us your thoughts. What do you think about this? Are you going to be an Advantage driver or a Standard driver based on the criteria already? And what do you think about this driving score? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, drive safe. We'll see you in the next one.